What if I told you that the key to achieving firm, lasting erections after 60 has been subtly present within your own body all along? No pills, no side effects, no intricate routines. It might seem unbelievable, but it's true, and after over 30 years of fasting, men in restoring their sexual self-assurance, I've observed firsthand that the body frequently holds these solutions we've overlooked, especially when it comes to harnessing your innate capacity to perform. Literally today, I'm going to show you something most men have never encountered before. 3 specific points on your body that, when gently stimulated before intimacy, can help awaken your arousal system, enhance blood flow to the penis, and create heart erections naturally and dependably. It's simple, free, and supported by both ancient acupressure traditions and modern science. Yet most men over 60 go their entire lives without ever utilizing it. In the next few minutes, I'll guide you step by step through these secret points and show you precisely how to stimulate them when to do it and why it's effective. You only need your own two hands and a few quiet minutes before intimacy, and I'll also reveal a 90-second ritual I've taught so many of my patients, men who had almost entirely given up on sex, and how this small change reignited their desire function and self-respect. Now, before I show you exactly where to tap and how to do it, let's take a moment to understand this technique works because when you comprehend what's happening inside your body, you'll not only believe it, you'll feel more connected to the process. You see, as we age, especially past 60, our bodies don't respond to arousal as they used to. It's not just about testosterone or desire, it's about your nervous system, your circulation, and your stress levels all interact in those critical moments preceding intimacy. And this is where tapping becomes powerful, because by stimulating specific pressure points, you can actually send a signal to your body that states, relax, it's safe, let the blood flow. It's like flipping a biological switch from stress to arousal, from tension to readiness. So let's examine how this functions scientifically, agree, and physically, and why tapping just 3 points on your body may hold the key to firmer, stronger erections without the need for medication. Let's dive in why tapping works. The science of pressure points and sexual response. I'll be honest with you, when I first heard about tapping as a method to support erections, I was skeptical too. As a physician trained in Western medicine, my instinct was to seek prescriptions, blood panels, or clinical interventions. But over the years, after listening to my patients, researching deeply, and witnessing genuine results, I arrived at a powerful realization: not every solution comes in a bottle. Some of the most effective answers are already within you, awaiting activation. The human body is inherently wired for intimacy, but as we age, that wiring can become somewhat frayed. Blood flow slows, nerves become less sensitive. Stress takes a heavier toll, and many men over 60 begin to think, perhaps this is just how it is to be now. But it's not if you understand how your nervous system operates. And how to gently awaken a tapping is more than mere touch. It's a form of communication between your mind and your body, your brain, and your blood vessels. When you apply light rhythmic pressure to specific points on the body, you stimulate nerve endings that transmit messages deep into your system. These signals trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, what determines the body's green light mode. It instructs your muscles to relax, your heart rate to stabilize, and your blood vessels to open. This shift is especially crucial for sexual function. Erections don't occur when you're stressed, they occur when you're calm, centered, and your circulation is flowing freely. Tapping helps create that internal environment with medication without side effects. Have observed men who were frustrated for years begin to experience change after just a few sessions. They felt more responsive, more vibrant, more confident in it, because their testosterone suddenly spiked, but because their bodies were firmly allowed to do what they were destined to do. And now I want to show you the first point. It's one of the most powerful zones in the entire body for unlocking pelvic energy and triggering blood flow where it matters. Most men carry around daily, completely unaware of the power it holds until they access it. Let me show you where it is and precisely how to use it. The first CV 6-point time. I demonstrated this point to a patient, a man in his early 70s. He regarded me with a mixture of disbelief and quiet hope. You mean I just tap here? He inquired, pointing below his navel. That's it? I smiled, having heard that identical question countless times before. And the answer is always yes, it truly can be that simple. The CV6 point, also known as the sea of energy ice, located just a couple of finger widths beneath your belly button. It has been utilized in Eastern medicine for centuries to awaken life force. But modern science is beginning to catch up. This area connects directly with deep pelvic nerves and blood vessels, the varisystems responsible for erectile function. When gently stimulated, this point helps direct blood flow toward the lower abdomen and groin, easing tension in the core and priming the area for sexual arousal. But beyond physiology, nothing emotional happens here too. Many older men carry shame or frustration in this part of the body, years of embarrassment, of feeling likeless of a man, and when they finally connect with this point, when they tap in, breathe, and feel the warmth begin to stir deep within, it's like something awakens that had been dormant for far too long. I often advise my patients not just tap mechanically, tap with intention. As you do it, visualize the energy moving, the blood flowing, your body remembering its strength. Tap for about a minute, take slow, deep breaths, and just observe how your body responds to you. Might feel a subtle tingling or a soft heat building low in your abdomen. That's the sea of energy beginning to rise. It's a quiet power, but a deep masculine one. You're not forcing anything, you're inviting it. And sometimes that makes all the difference. Now, if this point activates your energize, next one accomplishes something vital. It calms the mental chatter, because even with optimal blood flow, if anxiety hijacks the moment, everything can shut down. So let me show you the next powerful spot, a place you'd never expect to regain control, grounding, and calm. Before intimacy, if you're still present and this resonates with you, just type 1 in the comments to confirm you're following along now. Let's proceed to the second powerful point, point 12K. 1.K1 bubbling spring soul of the foot. You'll never forget one patient, George, age 68, who came to see me after years off struggling in silence. His biggest obstacle wasn't blood flow, surprisingly, it was anxiety. Every time he approached intimacy, his thoughts would race, his heart would pound, and his erection would vanish. He said it felt like his body and mind were into different rooms. That's when I introduced him to the K1 point, and everything began to shift. This point is known as the bubbling spring, and it's found directly on the sole of your foot, just beneath the ball. It may seem like an unusual place to target for sexual function, but what it activates is deeply connected to the root of arousal, calm, grounded energy. You see, at this stage in life, many men are carrying low level tension. Constantly, stress builds day after day, and when it finally matters most, when you want to be present in Gagadan strong, your nervous system is to rev. To cooperate, the K1 point speaks directly to that overactive nervous system. When you tap or press here, eventually, it sends a calming message through your entire body. It says, slow down, let go, trust the moment. When George started tapping his K1 points each night, just 20 to 30 seconds per foot, he noticed something remarkable. His thoughts slowed, his breath deepened, and his confidence started to return little by little. There's something incredibly grounding about touching your feet before sex. It brings your awareness downward, away from the chatter in your head, and into the strength of your body. And when you combine that with what you've already awakened through the lower abdomen, you create this powerful balance. Energy rising from below and anxiety falling away beneath you. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, because while the body responds toe tapping in these lower zones, there's a surprising point high above the rest that helps bring it all together. It's aspect most men never think about yet. It holds the key to switching your brain from tension to desire. Let me show you exactly where it is and how it completes the process. Point 3, the GV20, also known GV20 point, is 100 meetings right at the top of the head. I remember a man named Richard, 72 years old, who sat across from me in my office and said, Doc, my body's willing, but my mind just won't follow. His shins were steady, but there was a meeting in his eyes. A story of years spent trapped in his own thoughts, doubt creeping in before any intimate moment, stealing away the connection. He saw reply wanted from men like Richard and made for you this. Next point isn't just helpful, it's essential. The GV20 point instantly Located at the very apex of your head, it's called 100 meetings because in traditional medicine, it's believed to be where energy from all parts of the body comes together. And as odd as it might sound, when you gently tap this spot, you are not only stimulating nerve base, you are actually shifting your whole internal state. You're creating a moment of stillness, of true presence. What I've seen is that most older men carry a lot more mental clutter than they realize. Worry, fear, old memories, past failures, they pile up and create a kind of static that blocks arousal. Even when the body is ready, the mind can shut everything down. That's where I give you 20 steps in just 20 to 30 seconds of soft tapping right at the crown, and something changes. You feel yourself come back into your body, your breathing slows. And suddenly, the moment doesn't seem so intimidating anymore. It feels welcoming. I tap this point myself during long, stressful days, not for sexual reasons, but to reset, to refocus, and to reconnect. When you combine it with the lower points, GV20 helps complete the circuit. From pelvic energy to grounded calm, and finally to mental clarity and an intimacy. That clarity is everything. It turns performance into connection, pressure into presence. Now, just imagine taking all three of these points, energy, grounding, and clarity, and blending them into a single flowing practice that you can do in just 90 seconds. Before intimacy, that's exactly what I'm going to show you next, a simple sequence that brings it all together and helps unlock your body's natural readiness like never before. Stick with me if you're still here. And finding this helpful, just type 1 in the comments so I know you're following along. Now, let's keep moving forward with point number sequence tap. For now that you understand the power behind each of these 3 points, there magic happens when you bring them together, when you create a quick intentional ritual that wakes up your body, calms your mind, and centers your energy right before intimacy. I call it sequence tap method. And honestly, it's one of the most beautiful practices I've seen older men embrace. Because it goes beyond just technique, it becomes a practice of self-respect. This method isn't long or complicated. It takes less than 2 minutes, but in those quiet minutes, something pretty profound can happen. You're not rushing, you're not panicking. You're connecting with yourself, your breath, and the moment ahead. You start by tapping just below your belly button, waking up that sea off energy. Feel your lower body respond. Then move to the crown of your head, the 100 meetings point, inviting your mind to slow down and meet your body right where it is. Finally, you finish at the soles of your feet, tapping gently to calm your nervous system and ground your energy. 3 points, 3 steps, and 3 chances to come back to the strength that's always been inside you. One of my patients told me he now looks forward to this practice as much as the intimacy itself. It makes me feel whole again, Hesed, like I'm finally in sync with myself. And that's really what it's about. Sequence tap isn't a trick. It's a way of giving yourself permission to feel, to lead, and to love with presence and confidence. You're not doing this just for physical results. You're doing it to reconnect with the part of you that never left, the man who still wants what still feels, and who still deserves pleasure and closeness. And now I want to give you a simple plan you can follow starting tonight. Just a few easy steps to help you bring this into your life and start seeing real results quickly, consciously, and naturally. Let's walk through that together. By now you know steps more than most men ever will about how to naturally support your sexual vitality. And the beautiful thing is everything you've learned, every point, every breath, every gentle tap is already within your reach. There's no need for prescriptions, no waiting rooms, no shamays to your body, and a quiet moment of intention. So what comes next? Start tonight. Don't wait for the perfectment. Just set aside 2 minutes before or before intimacy. Use the sequence tap method exactly as I've shown you, CV6 GV2 OK1, and take 3 deep relaxed breaths between each step. Let your body respond without pressure. Let go of expectations. What you're building is just a habit. It's a rhythm, a way to come back to balance. Do this for the next 7 days. That's all I ask. Just 1 week Macite, a small ritual like brushing your teeth or washing your face. And as you go through each day, notice not only any physical changes, but also how you feel emotionally. Are you feeling more confident, more present, more hopeful? That's the real win, because when your mind starts to trust your body again, everything Changes you might even want to share this with your partner. Many men I've worked with found that opening up this part of their lives led to deeper connection, not just in bed, but in conversation, in trust, in affection. What starts with a few gentle taps can become something much more intimate, and after a week, you start to feel stronger, more responsive, more alive. Just keep going. Your body remembers what it was made for. Your spirit does too. Now, before we finish, there's one last thing I want to share with you. It's not about connects or pressure points. It's something deeper, a truth every man over 60 deserves to hear, but almost Novertos. Hang in there. You don't want Thomas this. If there's just one thing I conclusion hope you take away from all of this, it's that your age does not define your desire, your strength, or your right tone. Joy, deep, satisfying intimacy. To men over 60 have been quietly convinced that their best days are behind them, that fading erections or lost connection are just the price of getting older. I didn't believe that, and you shouldn't either. You've learned something today that most men never will. You've discovered how simple intentional tapping on 3 key points: your lower abdomen, the crown of your head, and thistles of your feet can help bring your body back into balance, how it can shift your nervous system from stress to arousal, how it can help blood flow, confidence return, and intimacy feel natural again. But more than the cincha, more than the technique, this is about reclaiming your identity, reclaiming that part of yourself that might have gotten buried under years of silence, shame, or disappointment. That part of you that still wants to feel wanted, capable, connected. And I say this not just as a doctor, but as someone who's listened to hundreds of stories, each one unique, beautiful, echoing the same question: is it too late for me? And my answer every single time is no, it is never too late to come back to life. Whether you're married or single, active or hesitant, what matters now is what you choose to do next. You've got a method, you've got a plan. You've got your body wiser, not weaker. And with just a few minutes of quiet intention, you can start to feel changes you might not have thought possible. So don't walk away from this thinking about what you've lost. Walk away thinking about what you're about to regain: your power, your presence, your pride. This is your time, and your story isn't finished endlessly. The most intimate chapter may be just beginning. If this message spoke to you, if it gave you hope, clarity, or even just a moment of reflection, please take a second to like this video, share it with a friend, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what part stood out to you most, or just type "I'm ready" if you're taking that first step back toward confidence. Your engagement helps more men find this information, and it lets me know you're out there listening and reclaiming your power. So don't stay silent. Join the conversation. You're not alone, and your story truly matters.